Coach Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever goes on the Good Follow podcast and talks about Caitlin Clark's development, her techs for next season, at least like what she wants them to be, and a lot more of the Indiana Fever.
Coach Stephanie White is building something special in Indiana, and Caitlin Clark is at the core of it. White isn't simply tweaking Clark's game, she's redesigning it from the ground up, like a master architect crafting a blueprint for success. While some players are caught up in sharing flashy workout videos for attention, yes, we're talking about you, Angel Reese, White is focused on transforming Clark into an unstoppable, unscoutable force.
We have an exclusive sit-down interview with the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. She was the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, an NCAA champion, a baller herself, a WNBA champion, and my former broadcasting teammate. What's
That's
up,
right.
Stephanie White?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. It's so great to have you on the show, Steph.
White recently joined the Good Follow podcast to discuss Caitlin Clark's development, her plans for the upcoming season, and much more. As the new head coach of the Indiana Fever, White is ready to take her team to new heights. Having been named 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, an NCAA champion, a former WNBA player, and even my former broadcasting partner, it's safe to say she knows what she's doing. While some players focus on posting choreographed routines for likes, White's mission is clear: to develop Clark into a player who is impossible to stop. This isn't about surface-level flash, it's about mastering the fundamentals. White's approach isn't just about improving Clark, it's also about setting the tone for her team, sending a message to players like Reese even before the season starts.
Watching Stephanie White talk about Caitlin Clark's development, it was very fascinating to get her take on it as an actual coach.
Listening to White talk about Caitlin's growth is fascinating. One of the first things White is working on is changing Clark's go-to moves, like those reliable right-hand drives and lefty step-back threes that defenders have started to anticipate. They've been staples in Clark's game, but as White points out, everyone now has the scouting report. To stay ahead, they're reworking her footwork, enhancing her finishing at the rim, and reimagining how she moves without the ball. What they're doing is a total skill overhaul, the kind that can elevate a great player to an unstoppable one. I think, from a basketball perspective, the goal is to diversify her finishing ability, says White. We need her to be unpredictable and balanced between scoring and facilitating.
I think from just a straight basketball perspective, making sure that we help her diversify, her finishing ability, diversify in the way that it's not predictable, to be able to be equal in terms of production and facilitation.
And this plan isn't just talk. It's already showing signs of success. Caitlin Clark isn't just evolving, she's transforming in a way that could change the entire WNBA landscape. We've already seen that she's added strength, with that viral photo of her muscles circulating online. Fans wondered if it was digitally altered, was it Photoshop or AI? Coach White cleared it up quickly: those muscles are 100% real, no filter.
You already know that Caitlin has put on some strength and muscle. She had that viral picture.
Yeah, you saw that, yeah.
Filters or edits. Clark's off-season dedication is paying off, and it's more than just for show, it's preparation for the battles ahead. This transformation signals that Caitlin is ready for war next season. The WNBA is a physical league, and Clark is gearing up to thrive in its demanding environment. White notes that Clark's increased strength is crucial for her to handle the physicality that gave her trouble as a rookie. Last season, defenders used their size to disrupt her rhythm, but now Clark is prepared to push back. Strength is key, White explains. We've worked on making sure she can stay grounded, keeping a low center of gravity. We're focusing on core strength and lateral movement, making sure she's a force on both ends of the floor. She's got to prioritize defense. Clark is buying into the plan, and her progress has impressed White and the coaching staff. Clark picked up on foundational drills so quickly that it amazed them. By day 2, she was adjusting like a seasoned pro. White even compared her to the legendary Kobe Bryant, noting how Clark's intensity and perfectionism resemble the Black Mamba himself.
What aspects of her game would you like to work with her on for this season?
Yeah, I mean, certainly getting stronger was one. The level of physicality in the W is totally different. That's the way that teams have to try to keep her off balance.
That viral photo. It's more than just a display of muscle. It's a symbol of Clark's commitment to physicality and dominance in a league where strength matters. She's not just bulking up for attention, she's preparing to dominate the WNBA. And this transformation is only the beginning. While Caitlin Clark is in the gym, rewriting her game, let's take a moment to compare her off-season to Angel Reese's. Clark is training quietly, grinding in the gym with precision and purpose, reshaping her skills. Meanwhile, Reese is posting polished workout clips on social media, those heavily edited, glamorized videos showcasing her three-point shots and mid-range game. But true development. That's happening behind the scenes with Coach White and Clark. Clark isn't about flashy workouts for likes, her focus is on the scoreboard. Coach White isn't just refining a few of Clark's tendencies, she's transforming her into a weapon that no defense can predict. One day she'll drive left, the next day she'll hit floaters, and by the third day, she'll be dishing no-look assists from a fake-out that defenders didn't see coming. Clark is becoming the WNBA's version of a chess grandmaster, always thinking 5 moves ahead.
Low center of gravity. There are times where she plays a little bit upright, making sure core strength and her ability to move with time under tension and stay in a low center of gravity is important. Lateral movement, like one of the challenges that we're coming to her with right away is on the defensive end of the floor. Use your size, use your length. You've got to that's got to be a priority, right? That's got to be a priority to play both ends, because we don't have to go from, 11 or 12 to 1 or 2, but we got to get to middle of the.
Clark's grind is far from a show. It's preparation for dominance on the court. She's becoming a 3-level scorer who can also facilitate, an offensive engine who doesn't just shake up her team but can change the entire league. And while Angel Reese may be chasing clout, Caitlin Clark is chasing greatness, and with Coach White at the helm, Clark is transforming into one of the most dangerous players in basketball. Strength is just one piece of the puzzle, strategy is the other. As her rookie season unfolded, a pattern emerged. Defenders began catching on to her predictable moves. Her signature right-hand drives and lefty step-back shots were starting to get shut down. But White isn't worried, she's already working on fixing this. One of White's main goals is to make Clark unpredictable again, especially when it comes to her right-hand drive. Defenders had caught on, so White is focusing on improving Clark's left hand, not just to dribble with it but to finish at the rim with both hands, adding even more dimensions to her game. This shift is small but powerful. In the WNBA, the difference between being predictable and unguardable is razor thin, and once Clark can finish effectively with both hands, defenders will no longer be able to predict her every move. White's training goes beyond just the basics, she's adding weapons to Clark's arsenal, like the Euro step. Imagine Clark driving to the basket with her newfound strength, only to leave the defender behind as she glides past with a smooth Euro step, finishing with either hand. This could be a game changer for her, and the best part. Clark is already showing noticeable improvement with her left hand, which is both encouraging and intimidating for her opponents. Once she becomes,
I think from just a straight basketball perspective, making sure that we help her diversify, her finishing ability, diversify in the way that
a dual threat. Defenders won't be able to funnel her in one direction anymore. They'll have to play her honestly. And that split-second hesitation. That's all Clark needs to slice through any defense. But there's more. White is also focused on Clark's stamina, a key area from last season. By the fourth quarter, Clark's legs would often be tired, and her shots would lose their zip. To fix this, White is reimagining how Clark is used on the floor. One of her strategies is to use Clark off the ball more. Instead of standing in predictable spots, Clark will now be a threat from unexpected angles, cutting through the defense, getting open in third or fourth side actions, and keeping defenses guessing. This adjustment isn't just smart, it's a game breaker.
Angel Reese, back in the gym, working on her pull up, bang. Working on her midi, working on her mid-range game, 15 to 17 feet out, being able to create some space for herself. Yes, this looks embarrassingly slow. No, it is not in slow motion. This is just what we have to work with right now.
Clark's breaking change. By playing off the ball, Clark can conserve energy for clutch moments, and her presence will keep the defense on its toes. When defenses aren't prepared for her, she can slip behind screens or make unexpected cuts. Suddenly, she's not just a playmaker, she's a stealth weapon. Coach White has also taken a page out of the Golden State Warriors playbook by using Clark as a screener. It may sound counterintuitive. Why would a team want its best shooter setting screens? But that's exactly what makes it so effective. When Clark screens, defenses have to make a tough choice. If they switch, she can easily take advantage of a slower defender. If they don't, the player she screens for gets an
9! Let's get it! Knockdown! Bang! Hey man, we got a fire on the poop deck. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! 4! Bang! Mayday! Mayday! Clear the runway! Brace for impact! AR-5 coming in heavy! Bang! Look alive, sunshine. Long 2. Will it go through? Ha ha, no chance. Bang. Is it me, or is there only 2 rows behind the bench and they're like half full? I get better attendance on Monday nights in my men's league. Come on, man!
Open look. Either way, it's a nightmare scenario for opposing teams. This strategy not only gives Clark much-needed rest but also makes her more dangerous in clutch situations. The result? A more dynamic offense, tougher to scout, and nearly impossible to guard. With Coach White at the helm, Clark isn't just evolving as a player, she's becoming one of the most complete offensive threats the WNBA has ever seen. Clark's transformation isn't just physical, it's mental, too. She's not only becoming a better player, but she's also developing
We got some footage from in the lab. That's right. She's in the damn gym. I'm just going to keep it real. I guess hell has frozen over, but she is in the gym practicing shots. And as you can imagine, there's real reaction to this.
a deeper understanding of the game. Each practice shows improvement, whether it's her footwork, her balance, or her efficiency. And while it may take time for Clark to master all aspects of her game, like being equally effective going left and right, the progress she's already made is undeniable. What's emerging isn't just an elite athlete, it's a basketball savant. With her combination of strength, skill, and IQ, Clark is becoming an even more unpredictable force in the WNBA. And with Coach White's system supporting her, Clark is no longer just trying to survive the season, she's preparing to dominate it. While Angel Reese chases likes and follows, Caitlin Clark is chasing greatness. Her focus is clear: one rep, one film session, one practice at a time. And with White's vision, Clark is set to reshape the WNBA. If you thought last season was impressive, just wait. The new and improved Caitlin Clark is coming, and she's stronger, smarter, and more unpredictable than ever. This is a fantastic breakdown of Caitlin Clark's evolution and how Stephanie White's coaching is pushing her to new heights. The contrast between Clark's dedication in the gym and the glam culture surrounding players like Angel Reese really highlights the focus and precision of Clark's development. The emphasis on making Clark unpredictable, by improving her left hand, adding new moves like the Euro step, and incorporating off-ball actions, is a game.
She's back in her natural habitat, back in the lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympic break.
Off-ball actions is a game changer. You also made an interesting point about how White is not just enhancing Clark's physical skills but also retooling her basketball IQ, making her an even more complete and dynamic player. Clark's transformation into a dual-threat offensive player is likely to make her even more dangerous in the WNBA, and it's exciting to think about how these strategic adjustments will impact her game. The fact that she's focusing on strength and stamina, learning to manage her energy throughout games, is also huge for her long-term success, especially in the pressure cooker that is the WNBA. This piece does an excellent job of showing how Clark isn't just a superstar, but someone who's continuously evolving to stay ahead of the competition. It's also a pretty good jab at the trend of social media-driven content creators in the sports world, highlighting how Clark is prioritizing real development over curated social media moments. By the end, how this transformation isn't just about Clark becoming a more refined player, but a complete offensive weapon who can initiate plays, facilitate for others, and score in a variety of ways. Clark 2.0 is a version of Caitlin Clark that is leaner, stronger, smarter, and far more unpredictable, ready to dominate the WNBA in ways that will leave defenders scrambling. This isn't just about making Clark a better player. It's about making
to hear, because everybody knows the thing with Caitlin that made her so good was that everyone knows what she's doing and they can't stop it. If she's going left, she wants to shoot the step back. If she goes right, she wants to go to the basket. And yes, there are times that she can kind of fade away a bit over the right shoulder, or she can make a kind of move going right and slow down, speed up. She's very, very good, quick first step.
Offense that's tough to scout and impossible to stop. The script concludes by rallying fans to get excited for this next chapter of Clark's career, as she prepares to light up the league with her new and improved game.
A Euro, which at that point, it had hit me that I have never thought about Caitlin Clark doing a Euro. But you know what? I have to call this. This is like the cream of the crop. They are going to catch on to the idea that she doesn't like to drive left. She always wants to drive right because she's right hand dominated. And when she does her step backs, she likes to step back and go left. So I did see in some of her workout videos, the practicing of her developing a left hand. I saw her stepping right. So these are all great things to be developing for an already elite player.
To be able to be equal in terms of production and facilitation, going right and left, to be able to have different types of finishing looks, whether it's, crossbody finishes, whether it's floaters at the rim, whether it's quick floaters, long floaters, Euros. You can't quite be as fundamentally predictable, with as much athleticism, speed, quickness, and as much as the game plan is going to be geared toward her.
But even
and then I think the challenge for us as coaches is how do we get a rest when she's on the floor while she's playing, right? While she's on the floor. And some of that's going to be playing off ball, utilize her as a screener, her into action on the third and fourth side instead of the first and second, where it's easy to game plan against. Now, how we use her to help everybody else be better off the ball. We know how great she is with the ball in her hands. We're not going to take that away, but we've got to be able to diversify a bit in how we use her. So, we've got a short-term kind of list and we got a long-term kind of list, but Caitlin, I remember from the very first day when we were working on balance and we were working on footwork and we were looking at all those things from day 1 to day 2, she had it.
Wow.
She's a perfectionist and she wants it and she's going to work on it. So that long list might get shorter every day we're in practice.
Very true, because she's going to get burned out. So I think that, and Caitlin Clark mentioned wanting to play off ball a little bit, but I think it's true that having her play off ball is going to give her a little bit of a rest, and that makes her game more sustainable. She doesn't burn out as much.
That's going to be a huge thing. I don't expect it to be her to be perfectly good going left and right at an equal rate next year. I don't expect her to shoot the same going right, or I don't expect her to drive the same going left. But it's it took LeBron till 2013 realistically to be able to drive drive at the same level left as right. So I don't expect that to happen to Caitlin Clark in a year, but there's a bit of an improvement year on year. She's going to be even more. That is such a big thing to hear from Stephanie White, and it should calm people down a little bit when it comes to Caitlin Clark playing off the ball. Because obviously, if a coach has a plan and a vision and a proper plan and vision.
Coach Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever goes on the Good Follow podcast and talks about Caitlin Clark's development, her techs for next season, at least what she wants them to be, and a lot more of the Indiana Fever.
We have an exclusive sit-down interview with the new head coach of the Indiana Fever. She was the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year, an NCAA champion, a baller herself, a WNBA champion, and my former broadcasting teammate. What's up,
right.
Stephanie White?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. It's so great to have you on the show, Steph.
While some players are more focused on posting choreographed workouts for likes, Yes, we're looking at you, Angel Reese. White is focused on turning Clark into an unscoutable, unstoppable force. This isn't about flash, it's about fundamentals. And in doing so, White isn't just elevating Clark, she's quietly putting players like Reese in their place before the season even tips off. Her goal? To fine-tune Clark's natural brilliance by eliminating the few predictable habits in her game and unlocking her full superstar potential. If you're excited to see Caitlin on the court again, comment, "Fired up for CC" down below. Let's go.
So, in watching Stephanie White talk about Caitlin Clark's development, it was very fascinating to get her take on it.